It's like, yo, man, I couldn't see this.
Hard Rock.
Bad call, ref. Good call, ref. Bad. Good, bad call, ref.
Hard Rock.
Now, I couldn't breathe, but it was better than literally having the snot tap just running constantly.
Hard Rock.
Like, uh-oh, that's going to be a problem.
Hard Rock.
What's the point? I don't know what the point is.
Hard Rock.
But I stand on my coffee like I stand on my tequila and my whiskey.
Hard Rock.
Posers of America, stay off our addictions because you can't handle them without your oat milk and your maple syrup.
Hard Rock Lunchbox.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Hard Rock Lunchbox and the Top 20. It's currently June 15th. That's right, the Ides of June. Not exactly as important as the Ides of March was to a certain Julius Caesar, but that's not really the scope of this show. In fact, I don't even know that this show actually has a scope worth knowing about, and that's the way we like it. I am happy to report my cold situation has improved. For those of you that don't know, I almost died from a cold this weekend because that's all that's really left for me to do medically at this point. It was just a brilliant cold, and I'm using brilliant the way Ron Weasley used to use brilliant because that was definitely the Weasleyiest way you could use the word brilliant, and that's exactly how I meant it. It all went down thusly. So, does everybody remember when Armageddon hit the Northeast last week? Yeah, me too. It's funny talking to people like outside the tri-state area, and they're like, was it really that bad? It's like, yo, man, I couldn't see this. So, yeah. I think the funniest thing to kind of come out of that, and like, I don't know if you were seeing it on the internet, but it was certainly funny to me, was the hazy shade of New York City and then just a slight silhouette of Godzilla attacking the Empire State Building, which I thought was the best part of everything that went down, to be perfectly honest. I thought it was great. So basically what had happened is that last Tuesday, so roughly, I know everyone's super interested in DJ's, oh wait, it's time for DJ's Medical Minute. So it was like last Tuesday, and, the forest fires were going on in Canada for like a while. Like, it just didn't start like on Wednesday and poof, we got the smoke, right? It took a little while. So there was definitely some particulates in the air, and I remember leaving band practice on Tuesday, and I was struggling to sing. Like, I usually don't tap out that quickly. I think I said that last week on the show. I usually don't tap out that quickly, and it just felt like there was like a little tinge, a little something affecting my voice. But I chalked it up to the air particles, which seemed reasonable given the following day, and it basically was being pitch black by 4 in the afternoon because of the smoke. And then went to practice on Thursday and kind of had the same problem, which was kind of understandable. The smoke had broken, but yeah. So I had this little tickle in the back of my throat. And just went about my business. Like, Friday was fine, Saturday was fine. Nothing had really changed. In fact, Saturday was actually really good. Charlotte and I actually got to go out to watch the finals of the Long Island Cup. It's the Long Island Junior Soccer Championship. And spoiler alert, the team that knocked us out this year ended up winning the whole thing, which was awesome, and I felt a little bit more justified. For those of you that don't remember, my beloved Hurricanes won that exact same championship last year, exactly, I'd say, a year and 4 days ago. I have the cup sitting somewhere in my office. But it was cool to go see. It happens to be at a soccer park that's actually closer to us than any other soccer park. So Charlotte and I decided to head on up there. And I got to tell you, and I might talk about it later, but I really got to tell you, there is nothing like watching a game that you have absolutely no skin in. It is so much fun, especially when the parents start getting mad and you realize that you just don't care at all. It's because then you can just sit there and instigate, be like, yeah, bad call, ref, good call, ref, bad, good, bad call, ref, and we were just having all kinds of fun. Especially when one of the Belmore parents got ejected out of the game and the coach got carded for it. There really is a whole other thing going on in the Parents Island. But my point is, I was outside and I was just like soaking in the rays. It was beautiful, breezy, and all that other stuff. Wasn't having any problems with any of the forest fire related incidents that people have been reporting. And then Sunday morning, without any warning, it rhymes, morning and warning. Sunday morning, without any warning, I woke up with the most unbelievable cold. I mean, like, cold again, for sure. Complete right side of my face was completely running and stuff like that, and I realized the video image is flipped, so just suspend some disbelief, and just trust me when I say that this side of my face was completely running. It was just awful, and I felt terrible to the point where I really couldn't do all but just sit there and sweat and sneeze and blow my nose for like the entire day. I did absolutely nothing, which sucked and threw me way behind considering how much other stuff I have to do. And those of you who know me personally or listen to me constantly complain on the box know that I've been dealing with like malady after malady after malady. And you can kind of see like why things happen. Like there's certain stresses and strains on the body that wears down your immune system. So somebody would normally be fine with, coming into contact with the common cold, would just shake it off like, little Taylor Swift. But like I just don't seem to have the ability to shake things off anymore while I'm in this sort of immunocompromised, and I mean that metaphorically, not medically, state. And it just, and also like all the appointments that I'm going to, doctors and labs and stuff like that, like a lot of healthy people don't hang out in those places, so who knows what I'm coming in contact with. And of course my immune system is just getting its ass kicked. It's unfortunate, so like I just took a super beating. Monday, I was happy to announce that my right side of my face was fine. It had moved completely over to the left side of my face, and I could barely function. I had to go to work because my boss had been out the week before, my direct boss, and I knew she was coming back, and I knew there was going to be like issues to deal with and like some sort of handover and stuff. Like there was no way I could call out, so I didn't. And then it was just such a struggle, and I could not wait to get back on the couch, watch a little Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and just like, just chill. I mean, I was chugging Dayquil at this point, and I realized most of you know that Dayquil doesn't do anything, but I was hoping for like the placebo effect of it. I'd already tried Tylenol Sinus. I was loaded with your normal supplements and stuff like that, zinc and C and all that other stuff. So I was really just trying to wait it out. But then I finally woke up on Tuesday, and what I had was, I like to refer to it as a nasal détente, if I could just quote the French for a minute. And basically everything in my face had solidified, right? And everything in my head, it was solid. Now I couldn't breathe, but it was better than literally having the snot tap just running constantly. And if that's too gross a visualization, then you are listening to the wrong show. So it was all stuffed up, and it just wouldn't release. Like I couldn't breathe through my nose. I could barely breathe through my mouth. At this weight, I'm basically huffing and puffing all the time anyway, so it was just a big disaster. And then I had to go to rehearsal because Tony can't make rehearsal tonight, and I needed another good full band practice before the show on Friday. So I went to rehearsal. I was able to get out kind of early, so that was fine. So I was asleep in the early 12s, which was, awesome for me for, a rehearsal night and stuff like that. So that worked out really, really well. And then yesterday, kind of the same deal, but a little bit better. But I had no voice yesterday at all. And I was like, that's going to be a problem because I don't know what you know about singing, but like you need a voice to do that. But I'm happy to report that today I am not better. You can hear all that. I'm sure that's really good for radio. And you can hear my voice is very gravelly. Now, that sounds great, and people have commented on how well I actually sing when my voice is in this state, and that might be true for fans of, like, Melissa Etheridge and Rod Stewart. But I will tell you, it limits my ability to do the job. And the fact that we're closing tomorrow night means that I'm probably going to have to avoid every single possible conversation that I can before I go on stage, and then be able to sing our 40-minute set with any sort of hope of getting through it without sounding ridiculous. So, what's the point? I don't know what the point is. And that's okay, because I don't need to have a point here on the Top 20 or the Hard Rock Lunchbox or basically anything I ever do. But I will tell you, if I talk really a very little amount tomorrow night, I swear on all it's holy, it is absolutely nothing personal. I'm trying to save my voice for this show. Normally, I wouldn't care so much, but the fact that we're down to like 6 shows a year, it's not that I got to make every single one of them count, but I am trying to do my very best because it's going to be 2.5 months, 2 months, June, July, August, 2 months until you get even a chance to see Revel 9 again, and then another 2 months after that at this point. So, like, I would rather you walk away from a Revel 9 show thinking that, yep, they still kind of got it, as opposed to being like, man, they were awful. So that's what I'm going to be trying doing. Thank you for asking. Let's get on to housekeeping, shall we? There is a brand new top 20 video out today on Strangerhood TV. I would personally request, if you haven't already, please view it, like it, and subscribe to the channel. We definitely could use more subscriptions on the channel, I think. I'm not entirely sure what we're shooting for anymore. Definitely seeming more like a passion project, but we're all trying to grow this station. I just can't seem to do it. I think it probably has a lot to do with the fact that, like, neither myself nor anybody on Bacon Is My Podcast is a hot young chick, and I think that that is the way you do that sort of thing, unless you're extremely, extremely funny, which we aren't either, unfortunately. So that's too bad. But this, I talk about how excruciating T-ball is, and I talk about how I'd really like you to be a good person all the time. Free Slurpee Day. The only day retirees leaving Florida, Mr. Beery's show, medical maladies, and more. Yada, yada, yada. On Bacon Is My Podcast, Hunter returns this past Monday for the full interview. Discussions and Drinks was last night. They talked about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Tater. I would watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Tater trailer. Teenage Mutant Ninja trailer. Nope. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle trailer. I didn't say I wasn't taking any cold medicine. And then they got Luke from Happy Days with 7 questions for tomorrow, so be sure and check that out. There's a guitar solo discussion and playthrough on Ashes. I believe that's our very own Frank Jr., so go ahead and check that out. What else is there? Nothing? Okay. I'm probably going to keep it short today because, first of all, I don't really have all that much to talk about, although I definitely have a lot to talk about, especially regarding that soccer game and just parents' behavior and people's behavior in general. But, like, I really, as dumb as this sounds, I'm really trying everything I can do to save my voice. I have rehearsal tonight. I probably won't sing it. We'll probably just play it musically and then pack up. But, it's not that in the old days I didn't care. It's sort of like in the old days I couldn't care. I didn't, and I can't really care now either, right? Like, I have a show to do right now. I have rehearsal to do tonight. I have all day tomorrow to get through, and I have a show tomorrow night that I have to sing. I'll be on stage around 11:30, so it's going to be a long day. And I want to be able to sing. I want to be able to sing properly. I want to be able to sing well enough to get some stuff across. I've got a couple of new songs in the set. We've got a new song. Actually, we've got an old song that we've rewritten. It's an old song called End Us All. And it's like, I don't know, probably like a couple of years old. And it never sat well with me. And then we must have gone through a few, maybe a half a dozen changes in it. I just never liked it, and now I've really gotten to the point where I think we're there. It needs some work on backing vocals, which I'm working with Tony on, and I can kind of start to hear the production level of nonsense that's going to be going on in the choruses. But I really think it's there, and it's got a really dope ass bridge, which was just sort of an accident. That I really, really like. In fact, right now it's my favorite part of the song, which is funny. So, but that's the way it works. So, End Us All is going to be in the set tomorrow night, and I want to get a reaction from people from the show. Like, sometimes we play songs and it's like I don't get a good reaction. I'm like, okay, back to the drawing board on that. We actually had gone through that with Central Park West several times when it was back when it was called Of Hope and Faith. Like, we had played it a couple times and nobody really reacted well. It's not that they didn't react well to it. Like, we don't throw up garbage, but like nobody was like, wow, it's a good song. Like, and I don't need like my ass kissed. Like, I want an honest to God opinion. Like, when we did like when we did Aaliyah for the first time, people were like, holy shit, that's a good song. Like that's, and when we did Run Through Me, like that, oh, that's a good song. Like I really like that new one. And I remember even talking to Jimmy about Run Through Me. He's like, yeah, you should definitely do this and this. Like, you know, when somebody is coming up to you, it's like, not only do I hear like that's a good song, but also like you should, you know, do these things. Like they've given it some thought. Like if the song is complete garbage, you don't get that kind of response. So it's not like I'm fishing for compliments, because I'm not. What I'm fishing for is kind of like reaction and honest like thinking on stuff. So on a song like End Us All, like I really want to see what people have to say on it when we play it kind of in real time, because with so few shows, like I've been saying, like with so few shows, I don't have the opportunity to play a lot of these songs before we like head back in. Now we're done recording our material. It's in the mix phase, the last 4 songs, but we're looking to probably in the winter at this point do another 3 songs. And honestly, I need to know what 3 songs I think are the ones that are going to be what we advance. I mean, at the end of the day, like we all sit and we kind of agree, but a lot of my opinion is filtered by, a lot of my opinion is formed by what the audience says, right? Like, you know, I talk to, like when we talk about like when we're doing songs, like when we're doing songs around the island and we're playing for like our true hardcore fans that know every song, like we can kind of just do what we're going to do tomorrow night. And that's like, we can play some new songs and we can play some older songs because that's what everyone wants to hear. But when we go away, I kind of need to look at Apple Music and Spotify to see what the nation at large is liking. So we have to play Keep You Near every single time we play away, because more often than not, that's the song people are going to know. Same with kind of San Jose. Even though the numbers don't really show it, I know that that's a song that people know because we've been touring for 12 years playing that song. So people know that song. So that's kind of important. But I do like to get the feedback. And more importantly, tomorrow night, we're playing an absolutely brand new song. It's called Nothing at All. And it's quite a departure. In fact, I wasn't even sure that the band was going to play this song, or let alone want to play this song. Now, for whatever reason, Noodle thought it sounded like old Guns N' Roses to him. It doesn't to me, but to him it does, and he is just 100% in because he loves that kind of stuff. And that really kind of was a game changer. And then Tony and Kaz also liked the song. Now, I did not expect that at all. This is a very pop-punk song. Which is kind of my wheelhouse and something that I bring to Revel 9, but very rarely play in Revel 9. Like, you just see sort of shades of it and stuff like that. But that's not something that my band listens to. I'm the only one in the band that, you know, actually listens to, like, pop-punk stuff. Like, I'm the only one listening to, like, A Day to Remember, you know, bands like that. But they liked it. And I was actually all ready to release it on my own as like a solo single, because I thought, like, you know, it's a good song and it just doesn't fit, and that's fine. And I didn't even think readily of another band that can kind of do it. Like, it could probably be something that maybe like Roderick could have done, maybe. Scare 20 probably could have done it, but like, you know, as tight as I am with Jake, like I'm not tight at all with Scare 20, so I wouldn't even know who to ask. So, but like I would just do it on my own. So I was all prepared to do that, but the band really liked it, and now it's in the set. So I really need to see what everybody thinks of it, because again, it's not really what I would call like typical Revel 9, so I just don't know. Now, I do know enough that our fans tend to be fans of that. Like, I feel like a lot of our fans would be very comfortable and very at home in, like, the Warped Tour, so I think this might be right up their alley. In fact, this might even be one of their favorite songs, which, again, elevates the reason for me wanting to play that song. So, tomorrow night, that's why I kind of want to do a good job. You know, the rest of the songs are kind of a mix. We actually dropped some songs from the set tomorrow night that people would probably be expecting, but we only dropped them in favor of doing them at the warehouse in August, where I think they'll be better. It'll be a better place to do such a thing. So when you don't hear the song that you really like, just know that it's probably coming in August, and we're trying to split some stuff up. So that's that. But that's why I kind of want to take it easy on my voice, and I realized I just spent 5 minutes talking for no reason about taking things easy on my voice, and that's about as stupid as stupid does, am I right? Now, the one thing I did bring, and I thought I was going to be quick, and I just wanted to just run this by everybody. So, no slam at Starbucks at all. I love Starbucks. I'm grateful for all the people that have come in and out of this show that work at Starbucks. But I've been shopping at Gregory's lately, and it's strictly proximity. Like, it is a straight line. A straight line, like I walk, I think it's 6 minutes. A 6-minute walk due west, and I will run into my local Gregory's. They opened up a new one right here, and that's fine. I'm on their mailing list, so they send me stuff, and they send me coupons and the app and all that other nonsense. I do not go out to get coffee all that often. I just don't. In fact, for the summer, I'm trying to reduce my amount of coffee. That's fine. But they do send me their flyers, and I will admit, I am a sucker for nitro cold brew. I like the foaminess of it. It feels like I'm drinking a Guinness, but in the morning. And not that you can't do that. I mean, obviously, if you're Irish, it's like, and I don't mean to slam the Irish. I got like at least a 16th in me. And what's his name? Where was I? So it's like the Guinness of coffee, which I really like. And I enjoy it. Like, yeah, I'm a sucker for bubbles, I guess. Sue me. But I've noticed over the years that they keep messing with my beloved nitro cold brew. I mean, cold brew is okay. The nitro cold brew is awesome. I like that. But they keep, like, adding stuff to it. And this week, I got the flyer. And it's about the Nitro Buzz from Gregory's. And this is not a paid commercial. I mean, Gregory's is not a sponsor. You can sponsor the Hard Rock Lunchbox if you want to. hardrocklunchbox@gmail.com, and we will talk it over, Mr. Gregory. But it basically says, we checked out the summer menu. We've added 5 new items. So check out our Nitro Buzz, a new take on our classic Nitro brew. There's nothing wrong with the classic Nitro brew, and I'm not trying to sound like an old man here. Just telling you how it is. Our classic cold brew, infused with nitrogen, sounds good, combined with oat milk and maple syrup. A smooth and tasty redefinition. Now, I don't know where you stand on your coffee, but I stand on my coffee like I stand on my tequila and my whiskey. Under no circumstances should any of those things taste delicious. These are medicines of a sort. And as soon as you make medicine taste good, like cherry NyQuil, is when you get the kids involved. And we don't need the kids involved. And now that we are approaching 50% of Americans being overweight, I don't think we need to sweeten up stuff that God never intended to be sweet in the first place. So I feel like my applause button is agreeing with me. So I offer to you, let's keep the addictions not tasty. And so those of us that truly need them, the true addicts, can get them when they need them, which is always. And I say to you, posers of America, stay off our addictions because you can't handle them without your oat milk and your maple syrup. Not that it doesn't sound delicious, but it shouldn't sound delicious. And this reality moment has been brought to you by the makers of the Razor Blade Diaries, which I found out from Facebook is turning 12 this week. 12! I think you can get married in Kentucky at 12. Not that you'd want to. But yeah, man. Happy birthday, Diaries.